Hey guys, it's Drifta in the backyard, and wanted to do a bit of a longer video of the YouTube and showing all the features of the new Wingman and how it all works. So I'm going to do that now. It's 45 degrees, flies everywhere, the wind's up, but we'll take one for the team, see if we can get it done. Righto, so this is not the Wingman X, this is the first version. Okay, the Wingman X is coming soon, and we'll show you that in about a month when we get the newer version, but it's a little bit different. A lot better, flasher than this one, but this is the original version, right? So to put this up, I've got solar in here, as I'm sure. Now we may do a different setup, but it does work great. All right, solar's there, easy plug in. If you forget to pull it out, it'll just pop out. It's only a little endo. But we undo that, and I can click that solar in. They've got 320 solar on the roof. So to set it up, what we're going to do is press the button, okay? And we've got the remote control in our pocket. You get two remote controls, and we just press the up button, and that's it. All right, now tailgate can come down. This is our tailgate bag on there, works great. This is going to take about a minute, and in that time I can muck around with some of the other things, which is you know, get the gear out, etc. So, now all of this inside is storage, okay? Everything in here is storage, so it's going to pull out some of my camping gear. It's fire table, some stools. This is an old set of Max Tracks that I cut in half. Works pretty good. The best thing, really, if you've got an old set of Max Tracks, they work great. We've just got some other ones here we had in the shed, but they work great. You know, you do need to get it level like any vehicle rooftop tent. This is my ladder. I've just got this one, goes there. It's great for ice. I can tie it to there, but it works really well for us. Fire pit inside here. I'm just going to quickly pause it there. I had a bloke on the phone just a minute ago actually in Melbourne, and he was asking, can you stop it halfway up? And as you can see, you can, because I'm going to get the awning out, and with this wind, I just want to get one rope on the awning. Now this is our 2.0 awning. Really, I don't think anything else is going to fit, and one reason is when this is down, it's right in front of this door. It's sitting about here. Normally an awning's up here. It's in front of the door, so you know, it sticks out the back a little bit. I have got a 1.9 one coming, but this one works okay. But you know, a normal 2.5 awning just isn't going to work. This is also a very lightweight awning, which is important as well. Okay. Just going to pull that around. Hook that on, and like any awning, right, all goes good until the wind picks up and blows it over. So especially it's gusting pretty strong here. Do my little monkey knot, and I'll just stick that on there just in case. Now the other thing we can do is the solar link. I'm trying to think where I put it. Here. Righto. It used to be in the bike carrier. I had a bike carrier and it was always in the wheel, the bag on the bike carrier. So before it goes up too far, I'm just going to chuck that on. I'll chuck that on here. All right, that's now going to go up on its own accord, and that 320 will be pumping. So let's get this strap out of the way. So it won't hurt to just sort of pause it halfway up. Get your awning out if you need to, and I'm going to continue that going up now. I've just noticed I bloody used the wrong rope, typical. So I'm just going to pull that one off because it's a bit short. I'll whack this one on before it gets too high. So this awning's going to be a little bit higher than you'd normally have on your car, but not a big deal. Good in some ways. You know, you got plenty of length, plenty of height on it, and so not really a problem at all. These ropes we've got are great. Keep that little bit of slack, and I'll leave this one here. Righto, so you can see my awning's up, nice and easy. This is a bag in here. That's our coffee kit. I'll just put this under here for the moment, all of our coffee in there. This can go under here. It takes about a minute for this to go up, and I haven't had to do anything for the tent itself. Okay, push a button, I stopped, push it again, and while that's going up I can muck around doing other things. Okay, so basically the first stage is up. What we're going to do now is jump inside. Now if I wanted to have lunch, all right, I could get in here right now. Here's some tools. Here's my little toolkit that can come out there. I've got my induction stove here, right, in a bag, and that's sitting on top, so that's still plenty of room. All right, put that back there. My induction stove, power point's there. I've got a sink, fridge ready to go. So if I wanted to cook some lunch, nice and shaded, nice and cool in here, and I can do that no problems. So what I might do is put up the next stage, and then I can talk about other things. So pretty much I'm just going to press up again. Now because I've got the solar panel on this, there is some sensitive electronics in this, and sometimes it's been going up and stopping. You'll hear a bip, press it again, it goes up, but it's because there's there's a high current sensor that's sort of stopping it. Not a big deal, but the new one has fixed that problem, so we'll see if it's going to go up. No problem. So like I said, a couple of times, and I think it's because, you know, the solar panel on the roof I put on there is 10 kilos and it's sensing that, and a couple of times you've got to press the button twice, not a big deal. Anyway, we just hit that button, don't have to touch it. I can put the remote control, now I just sit it here, and I just let that do its thing. So what we might do is show you inside here and how this all works. So pretty much, here's a sink. This is how I've got it set up. None of this internal comes with, you know, the Wingman. It's separate, and it's something that Drifta has done ourselves. Of course, that's what we specialise in: vans, fit outs, troopies, all that sort of stuff. Vehicles, we've been doing that for 25 years, and we've done the same thing for this. So we've measured this up, maximum height. This is how I wanted it as well. This is what I designed, and which is very similar to a troopy setup, but just a smaller version on those troopy fit outs we do. But SMEV sink here, that's great. Okay, I've got a switch under here. All right, so I've got a 20 litre Drifta stock and water jerry there. That can just undo with a strap, come out, fill it up, and the wastewater is here. Okay, so I've got wastewater out there. Now I can stick that down in there. All right, so that's the wastewater. Now I've also got a little jerry can inside here. It's 11 litre, sitting at the back, and we can direct that with a tap. There's a tap there. I can turn that, and wastewater will go into a jerry can, not onto the ground. So if you're in a caravan park or somewhere where you have to have grey water storage, we do have that. That's the sink. Jump up in here, Jared. Here's just a couple of drawers, pretty easy. Cutlery, some cups, chopboard, another big drawer here. Okay, for plates, latch there. Big drawer here, quite a big deep drawer. I've got pots and pans. As you can see, that's a big deep drawer, and a small spot down the bottom. I've got bits of things in there, billy, toilet paper, paper towel, etc. All of the space is used up. Underneath here, we won't be able to show this right now, but underneath here is all the electrics. Pretty much what we've got is 200 amp hour lithium battery, 2000 watt kick-ass, that's our Drifta Stockton battery with Bluetooth onto your phone, all the data's on your phone. We've got a kick-ass 2000 watt inverter, we've got a 40 amp kick-ass solar controller separate to the DC. We've got a DC-DC 40 amp kick-ass charger, and we've got, I think that's it, Jared. That's all we've got in there. That's all in there. It's quite a bit of space left. Because we've put the fridge in now, we can't access that space, but on the next version after Christmas I will basically cut a hatch into here and we can lift this up and access some space in there. But plenty of airflow. We've left the cupboards off just to give airflow, and that's this unit here. I've got power points here for the induction. I've got plugs here as well, SIG plugs, etc. So that works pretty good. So that's this side here. There's the button for the inverter. I got the girls from Canvas do these mesh pockets up here. We've just zip tied these on, so that's great. We can put stuff in here, and that just comes down with it all. You can see this here. This is bungee, okay, tied into that. So when this comes down, this all just pulls in. You don't need to put any bungee up down here. This all actually just pulls in nice and neat, and you don't have to touch it when it goes up and down. So I've got some nice pockets there, and nothing on this side. The ladder is something we've got to push closed or push to lock it in. So what we do there is push that closed. That's the short ladder for up top, and there's a hatch there. What I've done in the middle here, after the last trip we had a week away, this is a really nice little 30 litre fridge, just not enough. So I've chucked my old 15-year-old Ingle in here. Fits perfect, gives me 45 litres of Ingle space. Now you lose a little bit of leg room, you do get a little bit of space to stand up in here, but for us that's perfect. And I've got the whole cab free because we've got little ISA in there, and we put our bags in there for travelling. So Ingle for us works great right there. Now on this side here, we made these cushions up. I've got a drawer here, look at that. This drawer goes right back, okay? So it's a long drawer, 1500 long, same length as the tub. Table there. These are tables that can lift out and set up under the awning here, which is great. So table comes out. Also a convenient little chair, which I've been sitting here a fair bit. Isa sits there and Danny sits here, and we can cook dinner. And underneath you can access your fridge. Now you won't be able to access this fridge while you're travelling, but this fridge, drop the tailgate, you can access all this here. So that's really handy. Have a look at this bag. I made this bag too because these little 30 litre Ingles, I mean, a lot of the stuff was just falling into the back, so I made a nice little bag like we do, mesh. It works great. The fridge is off at the moment, but that made a huge difference. Pockets on the end here. Now charging, you can see this up here, that says 73, and it does need charging every now and then. So what we do, we can stick that into there. All right, I can tuck this behind here, and that will start to charge. It's plugged in here, and that'll charge this here. There's a what is it? There's a lithium battery inside here. I can't remember the amp hours, but there's a small lithium battery in here, and that'll be enough to open and close. I think it's 8 times. So every now and then you just need to charge it. You can do it overnight if you like. Doesn't take long, and you use that cable there. I'll pull that out so that's not in the road. And I just tuck that in to the little rear seat organiser, and that's it. Now, all right, I'll show you a couple more things in just a sec. All right, so this here is a connected little awning. I just might show you a couple options with that. This can, as you can see, drop down. All right, if I move that, we can close the tailgate. That can zip down, fully enclosed, as you can see. Yeah, that's going to zip down. When I had the bike on here, it was quite handy. I borrowed this bungee cord off a mate, and you know, good old wind. But you can have a few options with this, right? You can drop that through there and link that on. Just have that up, when I had a bike, it was quite good because the bike was here and we could connect to the bike, and the awning was right here, which gave a bit of privacy and stopped the wind, etc. But you do have this little piece here, plenty of options, and also another cool accessory I'll show you in a sec. And now that stays on all the time. Just folds up. Behind here you can see it's quite a bit of space. I've got tools, first aid, I've got a power cord to charge the battery if I wanted to. Quite a bit of space goes back. I've also got tent poles, and that space goes all the way back, the full length. So quite a bit of space in behind there. No space in behind the fridge here, but behind the fridge in that section there, there's a heap of space there as well. And we access that from the top. Okay, so if we lift the seat, I've got that cut in half. I lift this off. There's the drawer. But if I open the drawer and the table, now table's often out, open the drawer, I can now get into here. Right, quite a bit of space. I've got heaps of stuff there, quite a bit of gear in there. So that is all accessible as well. And that's it there, like that. So easy access to all that. Again, no space is wasted. Lights, in here we can, these are pretty cool. I can turn these off, remote control. Okay, and I can also pull them out of there. They would charge, these are magnetic. All right, so you see that's magnetic. You can turn these on remotely and do whatever you like. You can have them outside, whatever you like. So that's pretty cool. Line it up, arrow to arrow. They go back in there like that. And there's two of those, and also two on the roof. That's pretty cool. Right, so what we might do is jump in here and we'll quickly show the bed. Rightio, so up here we've got two pillows, you know, fairly fluffy doona. It is summertime, so I haven't got the big doona. I've got blankets for Isa, spare blanket at the back. What I do when we pack it up, because this wing is going to fold over, okay? This section here will fold over, so I put the pillows here, the doona here, and that seems to work quite well. No problems at all. You've got, as you can see, big ventilation right round, which is great. Doesn't matter which way the wind's coming from or a bit of ventilation, you can have that all open, which is great. You know, it's like a penthouse really, isn't it? You've got beautiful views all round, and if the weather turns bad, no problems. We've had a lot of rain on this, opening and closing, no problems. We've got these big pockets here on the side, both sides, which is a really cool feature. We've got lights on the top as well, same thing. Okay, and both sides there you can see. And yeah, these pockets are great. Also, which is cool, you can see this here, that's normally closed like that, but you can pull this down all the way around, and just say it's raining, you've got full ventilation all the way around, because that's protected by the overhang of the top shell. Now this comes with a hatch up here. We've had to delete that hatch, and this is just a prototype for us. We put an aluminium plate over the top. We just leave that there, but you know, there's a hatch, and we had to take it out because we need solar. We have to have solar. We've got an induction cooker, important for a setup like this. You need a battery and you need solar, so that's what we've done there. Another big window on this side, the hatch. Now the mattress is 5 centimetres. Mattress is fine for me. A lot of people have been asking about the hatch, and yeah, there's not a lot you can do about the hatch. Just so you can spin around and see that, Jared, where the hatch is. Righto, the hatch is there. You know, I'm always up middle of the night. Might be to get a bottle for Bub or to go to the toilet. Just a matter of Mrs. moving her legs over to the side, and you can get up and down. Now, that's all there is to it. One thing to keep in mind is, you know, there's no setup is perfect, and that's the way it is, but it's not a big deal. Plenty of room to put your legs on the side, and you know, the good thing about it is there's no ladder. You know, now you might say, oh, you wake your missus up. Yeah, well, you wake your missus up every time you go to the toilet, whether you're in bed, here, in a motel, wherever you are, right? Really, you're going to wake them up anyway. And plus, we've got a bub in, we're sleeping with little Isa. She's in bed with us, of course. She's not even 2 yet. But, you know, you're not going to sleep perfectly anywhere. If your dad gets up and goes to the toilet, you're going to wake everyone up pretty much. But it's not a really big deal. The big thing for me is you don't have to navigate the ladder. Now, in a tent, you got to turn around in a tent, like any of the tents that we've got, the Barrington Pros, whatever tent, Desert Cruisers, you got to turn around in there to get out. And that's sort of, normally you've got to be careful you don't kick the missus in the head when you're trying to turn around and get down the ladder, right? So it is tricky, and you're navigating a ladder that's quite tall, nothing to hold on to, so that's tricky. The thing with this is you can't fall, okay? You just jump down the hatch, you've got your elbows to hold yourself, your arms, you've something to hold on to. So that's a good thing for me. You can't fall. Look at that. All right, up and down. Right, you got bad knees, bad hips. Well, it's pretty easy, right? Just up and down. So that's a really good thing. Something I love about it is it's no chance of falling and very easy to get up and down the ladder. So that's that. Oh, the other thing too. Watch this. I'll grab a pillow. This has got to be about the most comfortable spot I've ever seen camping. Nice couch, you've got your beer, you've got your fridge. Look at that fridge right there. Need another beer, no problems. And you've got a pillow. This is a nice spot to sit right there. That's like made for it. The other thing too is this here, you can sit against here too. So that's nice. It's great to have somewhere where you can sit up against something when you're camping. And you can do that definitely with this little setup. Right here. Or another accessory that comes with it, which is pretty cool. We've just done a small mod ourselves as well. But this is an extra wall, okay? So I'll see if I can get this on without too much trouble. So here, there's a zip in behind here. That goes on there, and then another one there. Okay, now this here is quite clever. Comes around here. Goes through the spokes on your tyre. Comes back to here. And another clip here. Now do the same on this side. Righto, so we want to get that fairly tight. This comes up to here. Look at that. Tighten this up a bit. And this comes up to here. As you can see, it fits around the tailgate. What that does, it gives you the extra space of the tailgate, and we've got a little, it's called an Easy Go Now toilet, which fits actually right there, which is perfect. I might grab it out and show you. But what we've done as well, the girls just did this yesterday for me, is that added the mesh. so that can clip up. No worries. We didn't have this mesh in, so we put that in ourselves just yesterday. As you can see, that makes a big difference. More space, all enclosed. That is great. I've only just tried that now with this mesh on it. The other thing I asked for too was when this is out here, say at night time, a little eyelet. Haven't tried this yet, but like that, just sort of to pull it out a little bit, because what that's doing, instead of this sagging in, it's now bulging out, and that gives you quite a bit of space inside there. So have a look at that, Jared, and I'll grab out the toilet. I think it's on this side. These toilets are great. These bags are brilliant. This is our half-size RV bag. These are the RV trays. Now I got the Hilux I'm going to deck out. I was going to get a platform rack, Rhino, 1,800 bucks. I'm sure it's a good price, but it seemed a lot for what I get. These RV trays, we're going to be doing those, I think they're about $250 each. So 2 of those, 500 bucks. And then you can put the bags straight on top, and our thumb strap carabiners, thumb strap stainless steel carabiners, or a ratchet carabiner. These are a great little set, and for like $1,000 you can get the whole set, bags, straps, everything. So anyway, we'll show you more of that later. Now obviously if you're out bush and you can, you know, take a shovel to the toilet, that's great, but we always like to carry this. And there is places, you know, where you have to have a toilet. And these are brilliant. It's a powder toilet. Hardly use it, to be honest, but it's great to carry it, right? And that does fit there. Okay, it's called Easy Go. We sell a lot of them. And it comes with some powder. It's a military style powder. Okay, there's bags in there. You can use it, chuck the powder on, it goes totally inert, and when you finish you can bag it up. It's got a secondary bag, and I'm pretty sure it's legal to put in the bin, so it's dry, inert. You know, if you've got a portable toilet, porta potty, you have to dump it into, you know, you can't dump it on the ground, you have to dump it into a dump point. So these, you can just put them in the bin. You can see it fits there nice. You can see that sort of holds it out a little bit, and if the missus wants to go to the toilet middle of the night, doesn't want to walk off in the bush, she can use that, and it's really handy. Righto, so what else? Righto, so what I might do is close up the tent. Pretty windy here, which would be good to show it. Couple of things I've got to do. One, chuck this pillow up. All right, bedding's all up there. That's fine. There's 2 limit switches. One is right here. Okay, sits some wires. That's got to be down, otherwise it won't come down. And also this ladder has to be open as well. Obviously if this come down, this ladder needs to be unlocked. So lift that up. Limit switch up here. Got to pull that apart a little bit, and then that's it. So we're putting that down, as you can see, pretty easy for me. Now while that's happening, I might undo this. And yeah, that top, I don't have to touch it. Could be pouring rain, windy, doesn't matter. I don't have to worry about it. While that's coming down, I can muck around with the rest of the camp. You've always got a lot to unpack or pack up. Well, not a lot, but everything else. And remember, the more you get out, the more you got to pack up. So I'll throw that in there. That's a great little addition, that bag. You see that coming down, Jared? Keep in mind I've got all of my gear up there. This bag fits up on top of the roof rack. Okay, so that had a couple of little goes. You can see it's got some sensitive equipment there, and pretty much that is, I don't think it's from that. It's basically, I've got to spread the blankets and pillows out a little bit. So it sensed that it's a bit tight, not coming down freely, and it stops and goes back up again. So that's pretty good. I just pushed it down again a couple of times. It's come down, but I just need to spread those pillows back in a little bit and that'll be fine. So you can see how that works. Now for this one, very similar. All right, my induction, I'll just chuck it there for the moment. We'll put it back in the bag. All right, so that goes back in the bag. It can stay there. The beer can come down. All right, this can tuck up in there. So that's all I've got to do, and I can now pack this away as well. Same thing, so press down. While this is going down, I'm going to throw my gear back in and we'll show you how that works. Rightio. I've been putting the fire pit there, my coffee there, got a little table there. And yeah, I think you're not supposed to jump in there when it's coming down, but that's a good idea not to get in there, definitely. All right. See how the ladder comes down? Concertina's out when it comes down, so that's why this space is in here. Okay, this space in here is kept free for this ladder to come down. You can see how everything's pulling in. Okay. If you wanted to stop, tuck things in, you can, but you generally don't have to touch anything. I've got my ladder. I'm going to put this in, my tools. Got my fire table, goes there. Cushions. That's it, all packed away. Now this will stop about here. And I'll show you something too. If you touch anything, all right, there's a track goes all the way along here, very sensitive. If you touch that, for example, if you had your hand in here, touch that and it'll immediately stop, not a lot of pressure, go straight back up again. Okay, so if someone was being silly and put the hand in there, it will stop and go back up. But it does stop. It does stop about here, and it'll give you that chance to check everything. You watch. Keep in mind, this is the older version. The new version's got all updated electronics and a lot of extra better features. Also, you can see the max traction managed to get on there. Right now, while we're down, this is so good, right? while we're down, that awning is nice and low. Right. You know what it's like, well, the awning on my 79, geez, it's so hard to put away because it's just so high, and it's a luxury to be able to do this at this level, you know. So that is a great extra feature. Awning, look at that. Now keep in mind too, you'll find that because you've got the inside living space, you know, you might find you're not using your awning as much. Normally you have a cup of tea, pull up for lunch, you might throw your awning up. But for quick overnight camps, you're living inside. Remember, you've got an inside area, so you may find that you're not using your awning space as much as you were before. So there. Definitely nice to have that nice and low. Right, that goes on the roof rack. Here's my little cable. All right, so that's effortless. Again, it's over 40 here, not breaking into a sweat, all very easy. These buckets are the handiest thing you can have on camp. Tucks in there, brush. And that should all come down without a problem. Very easy, no sweat. If you're a single lady camping, you can do that. If you can operate a TV remote control, you can do it. Literally, it's just press a button up and down, and it probably takes a minute and a half maybe for each stage, but that's pretty simple. We can turn that off. All right, I can plug this in here, I can chuck that on the roof, away I'll go. Righto, well, I think I've covered most of the points. People saying, you know, you haven't set it up and down, showing it. I've done that now. You can see how it goes up and down. While it's going up and down, you're doing other things around the camp, setting up your chair, starting the fire, everything else. I think for practical camping, one kid you'd be fine. Two kids is not going to fit in here. So, you know, a couple of kids that are ready for swags, you can have some swags or bunkers on the roof, no problems. But a little girl like we got, you know, one kid, the three of you in here is fine. So I'd say that's for 3 people, 2 and a kid, no problems at all. You've got 2 kids, you're going to need some, you know, extra space, maybe a couple of bunkers. But for couples, just 2 people, absolutely perfect. And you can see this height here, it's, you know, under, well, it's pretty much here with the cab, okay? And we've got our solar panel on as well, but we're a bit over 2 metres. I say 2 metres. When driving on the road, you're saving fuel, you know, haven't got a rooftop tent, whatever, up on top, taking fuel. You're nice and slimline, you're lightweight. This is about 250 kilos plus the fit out inside, so you are lightweight, saving on fuel. And for me, you know, getting rid of the 79, it's you're using a lightweight vehicle too, so I'm saving on assets, I'm saving on fuel, weight, and it's been great, you know, it's been really good. So loving the twin cab. I've got to set the Hilux up, but that's pretty much how the Wingman works. And any questions, let us know. Thank you.